Um, Welcome to this Thursday Thought. I'm going to be talking a little bit about organization because last week I talked about goals, and my big kind of goal for this year is to be more organized and clean. So, in doing that, I'm combining methods that I've read books about and decided that I have enough information and I just need to start doing it. Going for the gold, so to speak, and applying what I've learned. And it's crazy because, I've done so much research on organization and I've tried so many different things and methods, and none of them have really stuck. And I recognize now that I have a huge sabotaging behavior where it's basically like if it says that one person out of 100 might fail, I'll be that one person. Like in my mind, I'm like, oh, that's me. I'm the one person that always does it wrong. And so I feel like I've kind of made that a self-fulfilling prophecy. I'm done with that. So I'm not doing that anymore. At least I'm trying my hardest to not do that anymore. Paradigm shifts are huge. Like when you are trying to change your brain, so the way your brain thinks about something that has been ingrained for so long, like basically my entire life, it's rough. And something that I also have picked up along the way about organization is that because I have ADHD, I can't organize my thoughts all the time. Like that is one of the biggest problems with when I try to organize stuff, is that legitimately I just don't know what's going on in my head, and that just translates to everything around me. Like I don't know what to do with it. I get really confused and really frustrated. And so I've read a lot of books and taken away some tips for organizing with ADHD. And a lot of it, like the first step in like for the books I read was to have a regular sleep and wake time, which is like nothing to do with organization. They were like, look, your brain works differently than other people's brains. And we all know that you're going to sleep at 3 a.m. when you should be going to bed earlier. And I felt very personally attacked because this was at a time in my life where I legitimately was going to bed at 3 a.m. and waking up at 7 with my kids and just being miserable the whole day long, and obviously not being very organized. So it was huge. I've worked almost the entirety of last year on moving my bedtime up. So now I'm going to bed between 11:30 and midnight, which is huge and amazing. And I decided that was a big deal for my organization to happen, was for me to get enough sleep. So yeah, I did that. One of the books I read, 4 Weeks to an Organized Life with ADHD, it is linked below, talks about organizing your mind before you organize your stuff. And it's helped. It has some exercises in there that I did, and it really has helped me to feel more organized inside of myself, and that translates to outside of myself. Another one of the books I read about organizing with ADHD talked a lot about how sometimes your after pictures might look like before pictures because lots of cutesy organization methods and tools don't work for an ADHD brain because we just don't think like that. And so that was huge too, because like I had to rethink what I actually wanted my house to look like and be like. And so the big goal for my house is for it to be warm, welcoming, and for us to be able to find stuff. Like anyone. Especially because you know, I have little kids, I have people who ask if they can help me with things when we get sick and stuff. So I have a lot of, you know, ladies from my area, neighborhood, who come and do my dishes. And so a lot of the times they just put stuff away wherever they feel like it would go if that was their kitchen, which most of the time I can find the stuff and it's not a huge deal. But then it's like, wait, where's my wok? I have no idea. Who's the last person who did the dishes? Well, it was this girl, but I think we didn't use the wok. You know, so it's just like I have to go back in my mind like so many weeks to think about who put it away. And so now I'm like, you know, if I have a system set up and I can have it labeled and stuff, then people can help me easier. Because I mean, I feel like those ladies want me to tell them where stuff goes. And I feel like one day I was just like, stop asking me and just put it wherever you think it would go if this was your kitchen and I'll figure it out. So I mean, obviously that came from me. But I feel like it's one of those things that I really feel strongly about doing and being better at. And so some of my success this week, or actually this month, I did a decluttering challenge. I'm on the ADHD Guild in Habitca, which I also have linked below, is they did a declutter challenge in February and you just progressively got rid of more stuff. And it was insane. I got rid of so much stuff. And I still have so much stuff to do, like to get rid of, but we actually opened up some of our wedding dishes. So that's like 6 years that those have been sitting in our pantry gathering dust that now we're actually using. And it's very exciting and fun. And we got to get rid of a lot of our mismatched stuff, so I feel more like grown up. Those silverwares are all the same, and I don't know, it's a big deal. Super happy. Side note about my kids. This was just super fun. At preschool, we were working with the speech therapist about how to be firm with your children and create boundaries and to make sure that you're using the correct language with them and teaching them words so that they can start to understand the actions that you want them to take, because you know sometimes they just don't even know what you're talking about until you show them. And we were talking about it and the speech therapist was like, Sharice, you're really good at this and you can be a great example for those who, you know, have questions or who want to see this in action. And I was just, I have twins and it's rough sometimes. I just knew that I wanted my kids to believe me when I said things. Like I wanted them to know that I meant it and that them to understand things. So my boys were always really good at following directions and could follow a routine and a pattern without actually speaking the words. And so I'm really proud of that. And I wanted to share it because it was a huge deal. Because it is really nice to hear, you know, someone who works with parents and children to compliment you on the way you work with your children. And yeah, So thank you for joining me for this Thursday thought on organization, a little bit about my kids. And I will see you next week. If you like it, feel free to give it a good old thumbs up. And if you want to watch more videos like this, you can always subscribe. Thanks.